I got something, Steve. This guy did get caught, and it wasn't piss. Tell me what you would do if the roles were reversed. My boyfriend of 2 years was in the bathroom at his apartment when I opened the door to grab my allergy meds. But when I opened the door, he was... You're listening to Baltimore's best podcast, Inappropriate. I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
And welcome back, everybody. Back to back, Steve.
2 weeks in a row.
It feels good to get back into this.
You don't realize how much you miss it until you do it.
Last week, we were kind of knocking the rust off. And then this week, it feels like, all right, we're officially back to doing what we do.
And we got a doozy of an episode this week.
So last week, we got into some of the things we were kind of holding back. We didn't want to go too rated R on our first day back.
Yes.
But now we don't give a fuck.
Now the barn doors are blown off.
All the things that you thought were funny in 8th grade and still think are funny.
But you sometimes don't say it?
Yes. But if you're alone in your car, you will chuckle. This is it.
We did skip something last week that I was definitely intrigued on.
In the moment, I didn't think we forgot it. But when I was editing last week, I was like, where is this? And realized I fucking forgot to say it.
Yeah.
So it involves the acting scams. Ironically enough, it falls in line more with this episode than the last episode.
Well, that's good.
So I guess it all worked out. But what happens sometimes, there are predators in the industry. Sometimes people will scam you out of money. Like there's a lot of agencies that will tell you, oh, you're going to be famous. You just need to take a few of these acting classes, which I will give you at $400 a week. And once you get those under your belt, nothing's going to stop you.
It's like our messages that we get for the podcast about how many of those people, and it's the same message over and over again.
Yes,
about asking us to
promote the podcast, and they will get us more listeners and yada yada.
Guarantee it and all this stuff.
Yeah, just pay them X amount for their time. Yeah, it falls in line with that. And normally, I always think somebody with half a brain will see right through these.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about a scam when it just hits the core of people wanting to believe. And they will just push away those red flags in hopes of stardom.
Because when you want it to be true, you're going to make it true.
You will only see the positive things. Whereas somebody who has no correlation to whether you do it or not or help you out, if you would just tell them, hey, this is what's going on, they would go, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Like that's a scam. On this acting website that I use for where you can list all, like everything that's listed. And there's some things that are big, big studio things all the way down to, they call them gigs, which could be a bottle service girl for some whatever.
Is there adult movie stuff in there?
No, there isn't.
That's probably separate.
Yeah, no, there's not any of that. But there could be, some shit is just a random. Like you're like, this is not acting. Like this is just a job. Yeah.
We need a cart girl for a charity tournament.
Yeah. Like we need greeters for this one media event.
Yeah.
Like that. Really, some of it is. One thing before I get into the scam. The other day, which was also a scam, the other day I saw this person post a paid job. I think it was low, like $150 in New York. They want you to come and pose as an FBI agent because their grandparents are getting scammed. And
really?
And their grandparents don't believe anybody in the family that they're getting scammed. So they want you to go pose as an FBI agent to knock on the door to say that the people that they're talking to are under investigation. And
that is so funny.
Which is kind of funny. And I was like, oh, like if I would live closer, I would probably fucking just do it just for the humor.
I feel like they can't believe they didn't have like a family friend that their grandparents would know that could just do it.
So on to this scam. A lot of these scams are trying to scam you out of money.
Mm-hmm.
But this scam, I saw this ad, and I saw this casting, and it didn't pertain to me because it only wanted women as the like FBI agents or something, the spies. So I mean, there's hundreds of them. So you don't even think, like, if it doesn't pertain to, for me anyway, a male 40 to 45, white, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I just keep scrolling. But it was funny that I remember the name of this. So when I went on to Reddit and somebody posted, "Watch out for this scam." So of course, I'm like, oh, let me read that. And then I saw
the podcast.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah. So then I saw the title, and it's the same time. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But I think the person who posted it has a fetish, and they wanted women to self-tape reading certain lines and send it to them.
Did they just get a vasectomy and need 30? They gotta get 30 bumps.
And somebody that had fallen for it because they were messaging back and forth to the casting people or the people that were doing this quote unquote film, they got a hold of the script that they were supposed to self-tape.
Right.
Now, to give somebody insight, if you don't know, typically if you audition for something or if you apply for something and then you're selected within the first round, they say, hey, send me a self-tape. And they'll send you, it's called sides, which are just lines from the script. Normally it's maybe a half a page. I've seen it all the way up to like a page and a half of stuff that they want you to record. You record it with your phone or a camera of some sort, send it off. And then 90% of the time, you never hear back. In this particular one, the person sent them the entire script.
Which is automatically a red flag.
I mean, I've been sent the whole script before, but they say they normally highlight, do your sides from page 3 to 3.5. It's highlighted. And then I'm reading this script, Steve, and I say, who wouldn't know that this is not real? And one of the actors was complaining because her agent was the one who sent them this.
She's got a shitty agent.
Yeah. And the agent probably didn't read it. They only saw that it was a $4,000 payday, and just sent it off. Here's a paid one. Let me just read a couple of the things that this person wanted the women to self-tape. So there's two main women characters, and they are spies. And you're going to see a common thread along what's going on with these. It starts off with it gives you and then it gets into more of the what the fuck. Scene 1: she walks in, and then a fishing pole or a hook latch on her back pants underwear. I'm going to read it as it's. I'm not going to fill in the words that should be. I'm just reading it how it says it on the script. So just so you can know, it's
so
not.
You can read.
Right.
You can.
She walks in, then a fishing pole or a hook latch on her back pants underwear. She walks forward, then hilariously gets a painful wedgie. So that's the first one you got to act out. Okay. Spy 1.
A fishing hook. What kind of fucking spy?
Back pants underwear. What the fuck is that? Spy 1 and Spy 2 get their hands stuck in glue. A lighter lights near their butt. Spy 1. Oh no. Spy 2. Uh-oh. Spy 1 and Spy 2. Fart. Then a mini pretend explosion happens. Scene 3. They stand up, wrapped up together, then fart together, which causes them to speed forward into a glass door with their messy faces hilariously sliding down the windows. Like a fucking cartoon. Yeah. A broomstick pops out, smacking her between the legs, making her cross-eyed. Spy 2 and Spy 3. Oh, we have 3 spies. Go knock on the front door. As they're walking up, they both start farting. These are all different scenes. They both touch the wires and are immediately electrocuted. Their faces get smoky and they start farting.
There's a common theme running with all these.
Their bodies start wiggling around, their hair sticking up. Spy 3, help me, mommy. Spy 4, bzzz. They fart out smoke. And it rips the back of their pants off. Oh, God. They fall forwards onto the ground and then fart out more smoke.
There's
so much farting in the script.
It is amazing that somebody is like, this'll work. I'll get girls
to like self-tape themselves farting in ridiculous cartoonish scenarios.
One, what thing would a person actually be able to fart that
many times
on command?
And like, who would read this and go, let alone if you have all your blinders on and you go, I want to be famous actor.
Yeah.
All those blinders, and you read this and go, this will work. Like this is what's going to launch my career.
Yeah. I'm going to put glue by my ass and then fart. And then fart
like,
some more.
Everything is farting. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. Walk up to the spy 1, spy 2. We walk to the door and we're just farting as we like. We're both just farting as we're walking up to a door. It's called Puppy Alone. It makes no sense.
Think of the level of effort the guy. Because I'm assuming it's a guy. I'm going to go out on a limb.
100%. And he has an accent.
And he just is like, this is going to work. I'm going to go out and have girls fart. And he put all the time and effort to write a script, to post it on these acting pages, and just over and over again to try to get somebody to just send him. Because it's got to have worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens if it becomes like an Oscar award winning film? Two puppies or lonely. What was it?
Puppy Alone.
Puppy Alone. I mean, like,
so sorry I didn't give that to you last week. Anyways, you got it this week. Watch out for those scams.
Yeah, watch out for scams. Not a scam, but there is a menace at large in California.
A menace to society.
A menace to society. They're considering this person California's #1 menace.
And California is getting pretty close to Florida. And
it really is with like the craziness. So there is a mysterious figure that wears a mask and latex gloves and carries around bottles of urine to affluent neighborhoods. So the upscale neighborhoods. And then carefully arranges them on a utility box and then it vanishes into the night.
What the fuck?
They have named him the Piss Bandit.
So he takes a piss in a bottle and puts it on a utility box?
He puts it on a utility box and he writes...
he
writes on the piss bottles, HIV positive on every single one. And he has been doing it for the past 6 years in Pasadena, California.
With all the doorbell cams, nobody can catch this.
No one
piss
can
bandit.
catch. He fucking vanishes into the night. There's been different bottles. There's
goddamn Jack the Ripper.
Soda bottles, even gallon jugs filled to the brim.
Gallon
of piss. Nobody knows the identity of him, and he is basically like Son of Sam. He taunts the locals with notes and drawings drawn onto the bottle. It'll say like human urine with like a smiley face on it, and then sometimes it'll say HIV positive.
Has anybody confirmed that it's HIV positive?
Here is
oh my god, that looks like a farmer's market setup of organic orange juice or something.
I know. Part of me is like, some of this can't be real piss.
That's a lot of piss.
It's a lot of piss. And from the picture, it is very different shades. Like, he's very dehydrated.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, That guy has never taken a piss in a toilet. If he has that, you know what I mean? Like, he's filled up a lot of jugs.
Yeah.
He hasn't wasted piss by flushing it down into it. It is 100% of his piss goes into a orange juice bottle.
Yeah. I mean, the picture I'm looking at right now, it has 9 bottles of piss sitting on top of a utility box. But it makes me laugh because
it's Banksy.
This is what's going on it just reminds me of like a whole bunch of like rich white people have nothing to complain about, and then this guy is just like,
I'll give you something to complain about.
I'll give you something about it. And he doesn't put it on steps. He doesn't put it on people's houses.
So he doesn't cross any boundaries.
It's just on utility boxes all over. And they're out to get this guy, and they cannot fucking find him. There was one image captured of the piss bandit.
It's a Bigfoot. Guy's easy to draw. Like, that's how
the picture looks like he's wearing a ski mask, but you got to look at, because at first I thought he looked like the dad from The Incredibles.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Before you showed me that picture, I don't know why I was picturing a black guy. Because like I thought it was a black crime, because I think a white person would put it on somebody's step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would be a little more brazen.
Yeah.
Where I don't know why, but he looks Hispanic. And I wouldn't say that's a Hispanic crime.
Yeah, he kind of does look Hispanic, and I wouldn't have pegged that.
Yeah, it's weird.
But so the piss bandit sometimes strikes multiple times a week, with bottles appearing in the morning and disappearing by nightfall. So he comes back and collects the piss.
Now that's just strange.
It was all
good when he just left them there. You know what? It might be one of my guys, because I pick up piss bottles on the house we're renovating all the time.
Yeah, maybe it is a Hispanic thing. The bizarre behavior has been going on for so long that round rings have been etched into paint on utility boxes. So he comes back and places it
in the same spot
over and over again. So much.
You know what? They're not even trying to catch him. You can catch this guy. He goes back to the scene of the crime multiple times, and nobody can catch him. Like,
so to stop the piss bandit, the city has outfitted all utility boxes with a pointed metal cover so
nothing can sit on top of it.
So nothing can stop to get it off. This is what's going on.
They're not going to stop them. The city's going to pay several thousands of dollars per utility box so that he can't set the piss bottle directly on the utility box.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense. That's a California solution. Like, let's not stop the crime.
Let's just figure a way.
Just figure a way that it's kind of offsets it a little bit. Yeah. You know, like, it's not. He's going to set it down in front of the utility box. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not stopping anything.
Yeah.
You just waste some money, so somebody can say, "Oh, we've done something."
So this one picture of it, like, look at that. Look at the one right in the middle. It's really like clear.
Yeah.
That's some. And he writes urine like with a magic marker down the side of it. So
but nobody has confirmed that it is urine.
No one.
Nobody. These years, nobody's thought to break open a bottle and see what the hell's inside.
I mean, would you want to be the one to do that?
Not on the first one. But I'm talking. If we're like 6 years in, and we're driving to work, and it's like the fucking piss bandit again. I think at one point somebody would go, you know what? Let me get my hazmat suit. We're going to untwist that cap, take a little sample. Somebody knows somebody and it works in a lab.
I mean, I'm sure somebody in that neighborhood is a doctor.
Right. Can you take this? And
somebody works for LabCorp.
Right. Yeah. It's such a weird, what would he, if he got caught, what would he be charged with?
I don't know. People, it's going
because
so
he's
much,
not doing anything in public.
Yeah. And I don't think it's illegal. Maybe.
I mean, if he pissed in public, yeah, but like
he's not pissing.
He's just setting, like, littering. I mean, that's a ticket.
For the amount of bottles, he's not pissing right there. He's transporting the piss to the location.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't get arrested in California for anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. They don't arrest you for nothing. And they're going after this guy?
I mean, it pisses the neighbors off. One neighbor posted a handwritten note for the bandit on the utility box. It says, "If I catch you leaving your piss here, I will make you drink every last drop. You have been warned."
Now that sounds like assault.
Yeah. What happens if they catch the piss bandit and then the person who caught him goes to jail for assault because the piss bandit's really not doing anything?
You would never know it's the piss bandit because if it could be just another guy's going, there's piss all over the place. I'm gonna take these and throw them away. You know what I mean? Like, unless you physically caught him pulling them out of his backpack, you would never be able to know it's the piss bandit.
Yeah.
He's always 2 steps ahead.
They have people staking out the utility boxes that like a neighborhood watch kind of thing, but he's too smart for them. He never shows up in the location that they're at. They've installed an infrared game camera near the box. The P-roll footage has showed the bandit's latex gloves hand reaching over the barrier wall and placing the bottles one by one like candles on a cake. So he sees the camera and then he goes behind it and just slowly makes it appear.
God, he's a genius. I got something, Steve. This guy did get caught, and it wasn't piss. Tell me what you would do if the roles were reversed. My boyfriend of 2 years was in the bathroom at his apartment when I opened the door to grab my allergy meds. But when I opened the door, he was squatting on the floor while holding a wad of toilet paper directly under his ass. I screamed and ran out. 5 minutes later, he called me, and there was no denying what I saw. He was shitting into a toilet paper in his hand. If you just walked in the bathroom and your partner was shitting in their own hand, that level of shock has to rank up there to do it.
Because even if you're trying to inspect it, it would just fall in the toilet and you could look at it. There's no reason.
Yeah. What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
If you're just going to put it in the toilet, why the extra step? If you got this weird kink, you got to know that shitting in your own hand is probably not deemed acceptable level of kink for most people. So you would lock the door or do it when your girlfriend's not going to, barge in.
Yeah.
And then if you just couldn't help yourself because it just overpowered you and you had to shit in your hand, wouldn't you just go in the shower? You know what I mean? One extra level
you could find a little bit of more privacy.
Yeah, a heads up. Oh shit, she's coming.
Now, I do have another story of something that doesn't make any sense.
We had a month off. We found all the piss and shit stories.
I know. A former NFL player was accused of urinating on a passenger on a flight from Boston to Dublin.
This is crazy because I saw that story and I just assumed it was fake and I didn't save it. But I don't know why I didn't, because I was like, that's the weirdest shit that I've ever heard. And then now you got the story. So now I get to hear the story.
Yeah. And I want our listeners to know, I validate these stories. I check 3 sources to make sure that it's a true story. The reason being is I read 3 different ones to see which one's the funniest so I can steal shit from it. A former NFL player, his name was Gozzard Cherilus. He was a first-round pick of the Detroit Lions in 2008. He also played for the Colts and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was arrested early Sunday after a Delta flight returned to Logan International Airport because he became irate on the plane and pissed on a woman for 20 seconds.
All right.
On a plane.
I'm not a detective, but if I was detecting this case,
it was an elderly woman too.
My first question, and I'm not victim shaming, 20 seconds you couldn't get out of the way?
Yeah, that's
a long piss.
So it says that he was belligerent on the plane because he was drunk.
Oh, I can believe that.
He was sitting in his seat and then pissing forward onto the next.
That's remarkable.
That in front of him. You got to give credit where credit's due.
I mean, that sucks, but damn.
Yes. How many seconds, if I was sitting next to you and then just started peeing.
3 tops.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Like
a second or two to like, what the fuck's going on? And then one more second to be like, oh, that's piss. Get me the fuck out of here.
Do you think she was afraid?
But you're on a plane.
You're on a plane.
Now, if he's being belligerent, it's so weird.
He was belligerent prior to the plane, so he probably shouldn't have gotten on.
Yeah,
they should anyway. But you know, he's like the piss bandit. He like you don't see him coming in, and he's on the plane.
I don't know the whole scenario, but 20 seconds is a long time.
That is a fucking extreme. That's like a whole piss.
Right. I'm not letting someone empty their bowels on me, but she might have been strapped in. She couldn't fucking move. She did. The seatbelt sign was on.
Yeah, and she didn't want to get up.
She couldn't duck and weave. God.
It would feel like as soon as.
But like the people next to him,
I don't care if the seatbelt sign's on or not, or they're like, we were in mid takeoff. If all of a sudden, like, I feel the like wetness, something's making me wet, I would stand up and be like, what the fuck? Like, I would have to stay. I wouldn't just let it keep getting me wet.
20 seconds.
You would see like your jeans just like starting to get dark color, and it's just like creeping over you like a.
I mean, those seats are pretty high. Like home that had been shot up at least say 3.5 feet with a nice rainbow.
He had good aim, and it like went around the side.
What's he, airbender? Like what? I mean. Can you imagine that interview? And then the next thing I knew, he was pissing on me for 20 seconds.
Like the fact that she could say it was 20 seconds, like I counted. I just wanted
this guy pisses forever.
Wanted it to stop. Do you think it doesn't say, but I'm assuming it's a big NFL player, a big guy's coming in, sitting down behind you, and then you're just elderly woman sitting down. Maybe she was just, but I feel like in a plane,
there's people everywhere
to back you up.
Yeah.
You know, there's air marshals, or I think there's still air marshals. So,
yeah, I don't know. It all sounds crazy.
Now think about this too. So you know, it's a guys golf trip weekend. All right, we're on the plane. Got a tea time set up in Dublin when we land. Well, you and I would go to the hotel. Joe would have one already planned that he didn't invite us to.
A pre-booked round of golf that he didn't tell the rest of us.
Tell anybody about. And then you and I would be like,
it's too nice for us.
It's too nice of a course. But you're on the plane, you know, we're all like gung-ho, guys weekend, you know, we're going
all
to
pumped
another
up,
country,
getting sauced up.
This NFL player over here starts pissing on this lady, and they're like, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we have to return flight to Logan International. You're fucking in the middle of the Atlantic. Can't wait for a Guinness from Ireland. And if I yell right now,
a wee lad taking a piece on me. All right, guys. 2 in a row, Steve.
2 in a row. We're going to make it 3 in a row next week. And then we're stacking wins.
It's getting close to holiday season. I don't know if anybody started shopping.
Should we start getting a little festive?
I think next week it's going to be, we're going to get a little more a little more in the holiday spirit.
Like not full blown.
Thanks, everybody. And listen, share the podcast, please.
Share the damn podcast.
Share the podcast.
Tell a friend.
We're getting close to Christmas, so you're going to see all the people at Christmas parties, and you don't have anything to talk about. Go, hey, I got this mediocre podcast I listen to every week. You guys should listen to it as well.
Baltimore's best podcast.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot again. And I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
We're Inappropriate. We're out.